Yo, what's up ladies and gentlemen? Mad Zach here, and today I've put together a very helpful and informative video on packing your DJ bag. First, I'm going to take you into my studio, then we're going to talk to Amplive of a hip-hop group called Zion I. Then we're also going to get some tips from Ian Golden. Sit back and enjoy the video. Now the first technique is the concept of a hard copy packing list. And basically it's just a list of every piece of gear that I know I need, and then underneath that a bullet point with whatever sort of cables or adapters are needed to run that piece of gear. I lay everything out on the floor or on a table before I put it in the bag. I go through and I'm able to look at each piece of gear, everything that it requires, and go down and make sure that I have everything I need.
Hey Tech Tools, I want to give a couple tips out there to the controller DJs. The first tip is this concept of a custom USB snake. This particular snake was designed to connect to a Z2. So basically these three cables went to the Z2. I knew that these always went to the computer, and then these always went to my controllers, and everything was already pre-designed to be perfectly laid out for those three purposes. Keeps everything really nice and clean. So how do you make a USB snake? It's super simple. All you do is set up your gear at home just like you would set it up in a club. Cinch down your USB cable using some black gaff tape is the best. Right about this point, you might give yourself a little bit of flexibility so things can be moved around. And then you're just gonna wrap the whole USB chain all the way up to the point where it comes to the computer. And then it's all one nice clean piece. So when I'm done with my set and it's time to pack up, all I do is unplug a few things, wrap it up, throw it in my bag. It looks super clean, it feels very professional. And what you avoid is this situation where you've got a whole bunch of cables and you're there at the club going, what do I do?
Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is Amplive from the Zion I crew. So if you're a traveling artist like me, always think of what would you do if your stuff got lost, say at the airport when you're taking a flight. You need to be able to do your show regardless of that. I always have the bare essentials, which of course is my laptop. And it's really important that you have your laptop somewhere where you can pull it out really easy and put it back in really easy, because at the airport you have to take out your laptops and put them on the security tray. This is just for me to be able to make music like on a plane or in my hotel room. I'm gonna put this in a cushion pouch, of course, because again, if you drop your bag, you want everything to be protected. So I'm gonna put this right here in my top spot. Very important, if you have a computer and electrical equipment, you gotta have cables. So I'm gonna put all this in a protective case. Having stuff in cases is just easy to organize. And notice that I'm putting all my protective cases in the same place because they're very easy to slide in and out when you have to take out your laptop. So it's really important. One thing that I look for in bags and backpacks is different sections. So this is good because this is a top load backpack and you have two large sections right here that you can sort of load stuff in, and it's very secure, it stays. And then you got your pocket that's pretty deep up here, so you can put a lot of different stuff in it, but it doesn't necessarily bulge out if it's full, and that's really important.
The fourth tip that I'm going to share is to create a redundant setup. And now what this means is that every opportunity you have to have a duplicate of something that you really need, that's what you want to aim for. So I bring a duplicate of my USB cables, all of my adapters, and pretty much anything that I really need, I try to bring a duplicate, because you never know when something's going to stop working or when it'll fall out of your bag mysteriously or you'll forget it or something. And by creating redundancy at every chance you can, it eliminates the stress of this. Another great example is that even though I bring an audio interface, I also always make sure to bring a headphone to RCA cable in case something goes wrong with the audio interface and I need to plug straight from my headphone jack into the mixer.
So the next thing I want to show you goes out to those who are using external sound cards, like this one. If you're like me and you like to run a whole bunch of audio channels directly into an analog mixer, you're dealing with a lot of cables. So the first thing you'll notice that I've done is I've gotten a audio snake that already has all my 1/4" cables running directly to RCA. So this keeps my cable situation super clean. The snakes are always marked, so it's very easy to find what cables go where. But here's the big tip. Instead of taking all of these things out every time I pack and unpack, all I do, if I'm done with the set, wrap this guy up and just throw this into the bag. Now, of course, you're gonna need a bag that has enough space. And for that reason, I really do like this new controller bag because it's got 2 compartments. And normally most bags, the second compartment is for your laptop. But if I were to put my laptop here, I wouldn't have room for everything else. So this bag actually has a special laptop compartment in the back area. So your laptop slides in here and all of your controllers go in the interior, which gives you a lot of room for stuff. This is literally the only bag in its size range, and that's the small backpack size, that will fit all of my controllers with the cases. So in this bag, I can fit my 2 X1s and a MIDI Fighter Pro and still have room to just drop in the sound card when I'm done with the set. So I just drop the sound card in here in the protective sleeve, put my cables in there, done and done. So a little proper planning and a little organization will help the controller DJs out there nail it when they're getting in and out of the club.
So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'd love to know your techniques for packing and getting ready as well. So make sure to share them in the comments and hit subscribe.